ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we were discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, and yesterday we discussed verse number 39. एषते अभिहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे तो इमाम शृणु बुद्धया युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्म बंधम प्रहास्यसि. So this verse we already discussed. Lord Krishna is beginning a new chapter, not new chapter, new section in second chapter. So thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without footive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So now I will explain you Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. So when you act in this consciousness of Buddhi Yoga, then you can free yourself from all kinds of karma bandhan, bondage of works. So it is big. So in now today's verse, Krishna is going to tell the importance of this Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. What is the effect? What is the Mahatma? Mahatma glory is very important. How powerful it is. This Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, how much powerful it is. Krishna says, नेहा विक्रमणा स्वस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमपि यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. So Krishna says, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Just imagine. So this is the advantage of executing Buddhi Yoga. This is the advantage of working or acting in this while living in this material world in consciousness of buddhi yoga consciousness. If you can develop buddhi yoga consciousness, bhakti yoga consciousness, which is of course nothing else but Krishna consciousness is buddhi yoga consciousness or bhakti yoga consciousness or perfect consciousness. Perfect form of or purest form of consciousness is Krishna consciousness. Everything else is polluted consciousness, impure consciousness. Without consciousness, nobody can act. One has to have some kind of consciousness. Consciousness means that you have some kind of uh, emotions or bhava with which one acts in this material. Whether materially or spiritually, one has to have some kind of emotional feelings or bhava or consciousness, chetana. Bhavana bhavit. Krishna bhavana bhavit. In Hindi it is said, Krishna bhavana bhavit. Krishna consciousness means Krishna bhavana bhavit. Absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. So in materially also, a person works very hard while being absorbed in thoughts of somebody else. Just like a family man. So he is conscious. He is his family conscious. Parivar bhavana bhavit. When somebody is parivar bhavana bhavit instead of Krishna bhavana bhavit. the family man, materialistic person, they are parivar bhavana bhavik. So in order to satisfy them, in order to make them happy, he works very hard. He has to work very hard. So how he is able to struggle so much? How he is able to take up so much risk while working materially? Uh, so because he has some bhavana, some consciousness for his family members, uh, somebody. So that's why this consciousness is important, and that is a symptom of living entity. Without consciousness, without having some bhava for somebody, a living entity cannot exist. The meaning of living entity means living force is there. The proof is that we must have some consciousness for somebody. If not for Krishna, then for it's simple. Na? Prabhupada said, if you don't serve God, then you must serve dog. God God, Dog dog. This is practical. In foreign countries, especially Prabhupada saw that big rich people and old man woman they used to um, get up early in the morning and early morning walk. Everyone is going for early morning walk with their dogs and cats, and some places hogs also. So these three animals are very means they are considered to be pet animals for those who have not developed Krishna consciousness. The materialistic people, I'm sorry, don't mind, but we are just telling. So people, so because uh, they have no other consciousness. So just to that means the point is that you have, because you are living entity, because we are living entities, so we must have bhavana. Without bhavana, we cannot exist. So, um, but because we do not develop bhavana for the Supreme Lord, love or consciousness for Supreme Lord, because of ignorance, then we must be, the heart cannot be vacant. No? It has to be filled with something, some affection for somebody in this material world. So, but nowadays, because people they are not getting any affection or loving exchanges with their family members, parents or children or husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. So then the only option remains is to have cats, dogs, and hogs. This is what was realized in Western countries when Prabhupada went that time. He saw, he could see these things. That although the person he is having so much wealth, everything is there, but still he is alone. Why? Because he has got divorced from wife, children has left him, uh, so he is alone living, and wife is living alone. Children are living independently. So, but he is living entity. He wants some emotional exchanges to happen. So, with whom he will exchange his emotions? Uh, So that's why he must keep cats and dogs and hogs. At least some emotions he can exchange, and some exchange of feelings can happen. So this will go on. We can never be fully satisfied by exchanging our emotions and loving reciprocations with any of the person in this material world. However close relative or friend he may be, but eventually it is not going to satisfy us, our heart completely. Uh, If somebody thinks that no, I am fully satisfied in my relationship, family relationship, that means he is in greatest illusion. He doesn't know, or in other words, it can be said he is the most foolish person because he doesn't know. He thinks that I am very satisfied, uh, having a good wife, a good children, good husband. He is thinking I'm very much secure and very much happy, but he doesn't know death can come at any time, and all this relationship will be destroyed. No more wife, no more children, no more husband, parents, no, nothing. You have to go leave everything alone. You have to go alone to accept another set of parents, wife, children, and so many things. So in this way, this goes on perpetually, and the living entity has to suffer so many miserable situations. That's why those who are very fortunate, so by the mercy of a devotee, when somebody comes to understand that our real object of love is the Supreme Lord Krishna, He is our eternal friend, He is our eternal master, He is our eternal husband, Pati, He is our eternal relative, uh, He is everything to us. So when we repose our loving feelings back to the Supreme Lord Krishna, where it must be there, it was supposed to be there, then we become fully jubilant and satisfied. So that is actually Buddhi Yoga. That is Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness. This is called Krishna consciousness. So if somebody who acts in Krishna consciousness, then he becomes free from all entanglement. So this Krishna consciousness, so Krishna is telling it is so powerful. If you become conscious of me, that means if somebody becomes Krishna conscious by following this dharma. So Krishna says, in this endeavor there will be no loss or diminution. Na iha abhikrama. Abhikrama means when if somebody is endeavoring to develop Krishna consciousness. So in this endeavor, nasa asti. There will be no loss. Whatever gain he gets, that will be his permanent asset. Nasa asti pratyavaya na vidyate. Neither there will be loss nor there will be any diminution. Diminution means that it does not decrease also. It remains as it is. And the more a person endeavors to develop this attachment affection known as Krishna consciousness for the Supreme Lord, so the more it increases only. There is no question of decrement. There is no decrement. And there is no question of any loss. So either in this life, if one could not complete in this life, one could not develop 100% consciousness for Krishna, attachment for Krishna alone, then he will have to take birth again, come back again, uh, and undergo this cycle of birth, death, old age, disease. These miseries will be there, unavoidable, until unless one develops 100% Krishna consciousness. But the benefit is that if somebody has done any endeavor to develop such a nice, purest form of pure Krishna consciousness, so whatever he is able to do in this life, so that will become his permanent asset. Nobody can destroy it. Suppose, just like for example, and it is not decreased even over the period of many millions and millions of years also. It remains as it is. It's our permanent, safest, most secure account balance. No diminution at all. Suppose somebody who took interest in Krishna consciousness and for some time, few months or few years, she started executing all those principles, chanting Hare Krishna, hearing about Krishna, serving Krishna, following four relative principles. But if because of the influence of bad association only, this can be the only reason, main reason. Another reason may be 10 these offenses to Vaishnavas, but that also ultimately leads toward this only, bad association. The only chances for our fall down into Maya may happen that will be because of bad association. If we associate with such persons, such people who are not following the principles of Bhakti Yoga, who are breaking the four regulative principles, if we associate with them, then there will be every possibility that we may also get entangled because the tendency or the desire to enjoy sense gratification is already still lying there within our heart. It is not yet completely purified. So till the time it is not completely purified, we have to be very, very careful that it may not trigger back. So we should avoid such unfavorable situations. This is our responsibility. Nobody is going to take care of this responsibility. This is our responsibility. If we are serious, then with full effort, we should avoid such thing, unfavorable situation. And the most unfavorable situation is bad association. If you live with those persons who are interested for sense gratification, then we are doomed. Our spiritual life may be completely destroyed. A bad association. The bad association means Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned. Uh, असत्संग त्यागात ए वैष्णवाचार और असत्संग हु इज असत्संग स्त्री संगी एक साधु कृष्ण अभक्त आर स्त्री संग because he was instructing some Prabhuji, so he said that you should avoid association of stri sangi. Stri more for a man. This will be equally applicable for both man and woman. For a man, woman is Maya, and for a woman, man is Maya. Young boy is Maya for distraction for a young girl, and young girl is a distraction or Maya for young boy. Doesn't matter whether they are devotee or non-devotee, highly elevated devotee, low elevated devotee, doesn't matter. Pure devotee may be there, doesn't matter. If some pure devotee is there, suppose some pure devotee, young pure devotee, young girl pure devotee. So how does it matter? A young boy will come and he will not be able to see inside the consciousness. He will get attracted to the this beauty of the girl. Similarly, a young girl, she may also similarly get attracted to the attracted to a young boy in material terms. So that is a great danger. That's why these principles have been given to us. We should strictly follow this. No mixing. If mixing is there, then naturally they will get attracted to each other and they will spoil everything. Everything is finished. This most valuable human form of life, which is meant for ultimate realization of the absolute truth, it is spoiled on the spot, finished. So that is our responsibility to save ours. That's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Stri Sangi. So more dangerous than this is to associate with a person who is interested to enjoy sense gratification. He is more dangerous. So this bad association should be avoided. And another bad association is our own mind, because mind is yeah, right now not completely purified of all material desires. So within the mind, there are so many desires for sense gratification. So if we are living with the mind, then also the same bad association we are giving. That's why it is also not recommended to live alone. If we live alone and we think that we have avoided bad association, then also the risk of Maya is there. So the only best option is to live in the company of devotees, and those devotees who are interested, serious in making progress. But in the company of those devotees who may not become obstacle for our advancement in bhakti. That means young boys Prabhujis should associate with boys Prabhujis, and Matajis should associate with Matajis. Otherwise, there will be chance of falling down. Anyway, so the unfavorable situations which may hinder our advancement in Krishna consciousness should be avoided by all means. But if somebody, because of lack of this training or guidance, if somebody gets entrapped into bad association and then he falls down and he starts breaking principles, four-headed principles. So he must have to, he may have to. If he is doing it willingly, then he will have to suffer the consequences. He may have to go to hell, or he may have to accept material this animal form of lives also. So again, it may take many millions of years come back to the human birth. But when as soon as he will come back to the human birth, so whatever spiritual advancement he did in his next previous human birth, so that will be intact. That will not be of any loss. So this is the meaning. There will be no diminution also, because this is a spiritual asset. So the spiritual asset, spiritual advancement, have no this time frame has no impact on spiritual assets. Doesn't matter how many millions of years have been passed, the soul, which executed some a little bit of also Krishna consciousness, she will resume it back when as soon as he gets the opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness. So that's why this is very powerful. Neha. So na iha means in this yoga, Buddhi yoga, Krishna is telling. Because in the previous verse, Krishna introduced, you Buddhi yoge to imam su. Now I am telling you, Arjuna, बुद्धिर योगे तो इमाम शृणु बुद्धिया युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्म बंधम प्रहास्यसि. So if you act in this buddhi yoga, then you will become free from all bondage of these material activities. But Krishna is telling us, in order to fully encourage us, that even if you are not able to completely free you from your bondage of all the fruitive reactions activities, but whatever in this yoga, iha means in this yoga, whatever endeavor, abhikrama, so there will be nasa hasti, there will be no loss, na nasa hasti, and pratyavayo na vidyate. Diminution also, it will not happen. स्वल्पमपि यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Then Krishna says, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Little advancement. That's why Krishna is using the word Swalpam api yasya dharmasya. Api means although, even though, very, very minute, very, very, very little amount. Swalpa. Alpa means little, and Swalpam is very, very little. If somebody dharmasya, asya dharmasya, of this occupation. Which occupation? Bhakti yoga, buddhi yoga. So if somebody executes this buddhi yoga, bhakti yoga, even in very swalpa amount, very little amount also. So that has the potential, trayate mahato bhayat. It can release one from greatest kind of danger. So this is the potential of this bhakti yoga. So what is the greatest kind of danger? That will be explained in the purport, but we'll just hint you. The greatest kind of danger or greatest kind of risk for all human beings, whoever has gotten this human form of life, please listen it very carefully. Among you, whoever is human being, I hope everyone is human being, don't mind, because this knowledge is meant for human beings only. So anyone who has gotten this human form of life, so the greatest kind of risk or greatest kind of danger or fear, fearful situation which can happen to any human being is that after leaving this body, she gets an animal form of life. This is the most dangerous situation. This is the greatest fear or the risk for any human being. And unfortunately, most of the people in this modern time, who are living in this modern time, unfortunately, most of the people are supposed are expected to or are going to become animal. Why? Because they are not executing the purpose of human birth. Very simple. It's not just only those people who are performing sinful activities, they may become animal. No, no. Those who are not performing sinful activity, they may also become. Chances may be less, but they may also become animal. Because if they are living life like animal life, then there will be possibility. Na? Because animal life means only interest for eating, sleeping, mating, defending. If somebody is doing this ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithunam, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending in a proper way, nothing, there is no proper way, but proper way means without harming anyone and without doing sinful activity honestly. If somebody honestly is doing eating, sleeping, mating, defending, but still it remains the animalistic propensity. No? These are the activities meant for animals only. Human being becomes human being when he performs some kinds of religious activity also. It doesn't matter. It may not be completely fully bhakti yoga. If somebody has any concept of performing any religious activity, if he observes any kind of vrata or any kind of austerity, any kind of religious functions, traveling to some tirtha, dham yatra. If somebody is doing, going to temples, taking darshan of the Lord, uh, taking prasadam, he may not be fully interested to hear the philosophy and practice bhakti yoga. It may not be so much. But even if some slight touch of spirituality is there, so Krishna is telling, Suvalpamabhyasya dharmasya trayate mahato, then he will be saved. He will not have to take birth as an animal form of life. He will again get human birth, and again he may get the opportunity to associate with devotees, so that in this way he can start preparing for going back home, back to Godhead. So this possibility is there. But somebody whose life is completely devoid of any kind of religious rituals, religious functions, spiritual life, so he may be in material terms, he may be very pious person, or he may be very gentleman. In modern way, we can say he is very gentleman. So it doesn't matter. After this death, he is going to become an animal because he has not actually fulfilled the purpose of human birth. Uh, So this is the greatest kind of risk or fear in this material. So from this greatest kind of risk and fear or danger, the person can be saved if he uh, just executes this uh, buddhi yoga, even in sualpa matra, sualpamasi, very in a very little amount also. If somebody does this, then trayate mahato bhayat. He will be saved from this greatest kind of danger of becoming animal in the next animal in next life. So this purpose is little bit. Tomorrow we'll again discuss about this verse in more detail. Okay. So if you have any questions, we have 10 minutes. You can ask. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, any question? If you associate with a pure devotee, so possibility is there that you may also become a pure devotee like him. Similarly, if we associate with dogs, then possibility is there. So why to risk? Sorry. So, but this is a fact. If we develop attachment, and the evidence is there in Bhagavad, Bharat Maharaj, he became attached to a deer. Oh my dear, dear. He became attached, and as soon as he died, he has to become very dear. Uh, so if we want to become, so it's a risk. Why to take risk? Give up this attachment for dogs. What is there in dog that we become attached to dog? So much is there in God. Why don't we become attached to God? Keep God. Okay. How? The process is just keep hearing about the glories of Supreme Lord. You will become attached to Supreme Lord. And if you keep hearing about the danger of keeping dogs, so you'll become detached from dogs. Okay, yes, Palak Mataji.
हाँ, बस मेरा यही क्वेश्चन था प्रभु कि आप जैसे बता रहे थे कि जो लोग कृष्ण भक्ति नहीं करते हैं उन्हें नेक्स्ट लाइफ मतलब एनिमल का ही मिलने वाला है, तो अगर वो फोर प्रिंसिपल्स फॉलो करते हैं ठीक से और ये जो कर्म कांडी चीजें हैं वो थोड़ा बहुत फॉलो करते हैं तो उनका क्या होगा फिर?
नहीं, वो लोग ह्यूमन बर्थ प्राप्त कर सकते हैं क्योंकि देयर इज सम टच ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल दिस रिलीजियस थिंग, सो वो है। बट ऐसे लोग जिनका देयर इज नो टच एट ऑल of any religious thing, even if they are following four agreed principles. Actually, they will not be able to follow four agreed principles. If somebody is not, if somebody has not at all in his single touch of his spiritual life, religious life, then it will be very difficult, almost impossible that he will be able to follow four agreed principles. Okay. Any other question?